Hey Blue Table fans, it's time for a studio update, and I got a lot on my mind. Let's take a look at some miniatures first. This is a Kroot Mercs Force that I believe I've written on the blog about. They've just overrun an Imperial outpost, so they have tons of Imperial equipment on them. For example, this flamer. And the list doubles as Imperial Guard or Kroot. Did I say Imperial Guard or Kroot? I meant Imperial Guard or Orcs. So the Flamer's a Burna boy. And what else do I... You know, this is really kind of hodgepodge, so I realize it doesn't look very good, but it is good, and it's going to look awesome when it's done. So this is can become a Chimera, a truck, a Medusa siege gun. So check this out. This goes inside here like that. And it has yet even another part. Oh yeah, it becomes a Manticore missile launcher. These are all magnetized on. This is kind of a homebrew one. And let's see what else we got. Of course, we have these hex blades with Kroot drivers on them. That's a nice feature. We've got a Lehman Russ Demolisher. It's got all the options magnetized. Again, tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of Kroot. It is definitely going to be a hard army to deal with. I think it has at least 120 infantry in it. So here's some Kroot riding around in Sentinels. These become Killicans, or of course Sentinels. Got the rough terrain attachment there from the Catachans kit. And that is the close combat weapon if it's run as a Killican. So everything's really dovetailed together in this army so that it makes sense no matter which version it's being played at. And I would say at least in the 2,500 to 3,000 point range. Hey, what are you working on?
Ooh, some Black Legion Terminators.
Awesome.
So finished a Cal Jericho model.
Oh yeah, and this is part of this project, right?
Yeah.
Well, you may or may not be able to see that very well, but there he is. Yeah, that's done real nice. What a great fig, too.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Josephus has started in on some Crikes figures. So those have just had the prep work on them. They're coming in this awesome battle foam carrying case. Mike D brought in his Orc and Goblin army to supplement mine as needed. That is really quite a horde of greenskins. There's a giant. So I'm playing a 2,500 point battle tomorrow versus Ogre Kingdoms, and a very experienced Ogre Kingdoms player, I might add. Okay, here's an Orcs and Goblins army we're working on, and I just wanted to show you some of the salient conversions here. These are Orc chariots made from Rhinoxen. I gotta tell you, this is a really nice centerpiece for the army. Tons of equipment and conversion on those. Let's take a look at the other one. So here's this one. Really quite a centerpiece. This is definitely as large as a Stegodon. Yeah, I love that. Lots of conversion work on the heroes. Check out this Black Orc War Boss. You think his axe is big enough? I think it is. Got a shield on his back there. Here's the Battle Standard Bearer. He's had quite a bit of modification in both pose, head swap, additional skulls up top, and definitely a very solid piece of work there. Now the Shamans are awesome. This is a Confrontation Orc Shaman that we've GW-ified a bit. Here's another Orc Shaman just out of plastics. And he's got a really cool riveted faceplate head and plenty of totems and whatnot. Hey there! So I'm out in the hall because they're vacuuming inside here. Let's take a look. There's that and that. Not very exciting. Here's our Nido chairs. Aha! Alright, so let me just finish this up by telling you what's going on with the terrain thing downstairs. It's going to happen. It's a done deal now. So the hand has been shook on it, and we'll probably be actually set up and making terrain next week. So I'm currently making orders. Let me tell you the different types of things that we're going to do with the terrain. At the highest end, we're going to make whole deluxe boards like the Trenchworks board, and those are going to be you know, shipped that way too. So we'll have the highest end options available. And down from that, there will be basically turbo terrain, for those of you that are familiar with our Turbo Army Special, where you set a budget of a certain amount to a certain amount, starting at 200 and then going all the way up, usually I'd say maxed out at 800. And then you set the general type of terrain, like you'd say science fiction desert terrain, and we would make a suitable amount of that. And there is some trust involved with that. Now, the next way you can do it is a la carte, which is you send me what you want done, and then I say, well, we can do that for X amount. And what's the other thing? Oh, and notably, since the terrain is on a different track, it will probably go faster. Like right now, you could be first in line. As usual, I just need a half down deposit and the instructions for the terrain. And what we're going to do is after we make some turbo terrain sets, I'm going to start photographing those, and basically for a set amount you can get a set like that. Contents may vary. Alright, so the next type of item is going to be individualized terrain. Well, I'll have a picture of a hill or a shrine or whatever it is, and that'll just have a fixed amount to make that. And then the very last type of terrain is prefab. That well, you can always get that. You can always get prefabricated terrain where we just assemble it and paint it, and that's really more like painting a miniature. All right, and then the very last type is I'm going to do prefab, pre-painted terrain, which is really just kind of a little foray into the retail market there, where you can just pick up, pre-done hills or whatever it is that people make. And so it'll take us a month or two to get all of that going. For now, I'm just doing the turbo and the a la carte stuff, or really any of the specialty types of terrain projects. So, and we're ready to go. I really want to get this going, so we can expand into this area more permanently. Because right now I'm just, if someone says, hey, can you make some terrain for me? Recently I've said, well, I'm sorry, we're maybe check in 3 months. We might be doing a terrain fest then. But now it'll be terrain fest all the time. Hey, yeah, one last thing. Actually, a couple of last things. I'm still looking for AT43 stuff. I have some things kind of cooking with that, but I am trading it in new lamps for old kind of style. So email me for details, or I'll probably put a link on here or something like that. Hey, I also wanted to show you this. Sarah S. brought these 2D paintings down. These are prints, but this is artwork that she did. Isn't that neat? And I don't know if you're supposed to take the wrapper off, but we need to hang these up official-like around the studio. Let's take another look at this one. Isn't that awesome? She just came right up with that out of her head.